Hello everyone. Yesterday on camera I recorded a video of the most fantastic eBay lot that I think I've ever purchased. For $11 I got a lot of vintage cards which were not even shown in the listing, and the listing was mostly oddball packs of the mid to late 80s, and in a few minutes we're going to open all those packs on this video. But before we do that, I want to recap a lot of the treasures that I've already found. This particular person must have been a fan of Rusty Staub and Joe Torre, so we have a nice selection of 60s cards from them. As far as book value is concerned, the best card in the whole lot may have been this Joe Torre rookie card. It shows as a Gold Cup card, but this actually was his rookie. This is the first vintage Roberto Clemente card I've ever acquired. It's from 1969 Decal Edge. I believe this is my first vintage Al Kaneline card, as he is pictured with Norm Cash for the Bengal Belters. We have a couple of vintage Topps game insert from 1968. We've got Brooks Robinson and Rusty Staub. Here we have a 1965 of Tommy John. Flip it over, we've got a 71 Tommy John. More from Decal Edge. We had, there were two of these Rich Allens and one of Curt Flood. From 72 Topps, we have four pitching leaders from the National League. 3 stars and one still well-known name here. Fergie Jenkins, Steve Carlton, Tom Seaver, and then also Al Downing. We've got a 74 Topps Carlton Fisk. In 1964, Topps also produced some Beatles cards, and so these are vintage as well. You can pause and take a look at that if you like. There were 4 of these vintage cards shown here. Individual cards seem to sell on eBay for about, I don't know, a couple of dollars each if you buy them in bulk. I don't know if one particular card is better than another, although the design on this one was a little bit different. It's just a black and white photo of John. It says 42 out of 60. However, Julie must have owned this card back then. There were plenty of $1 and $2 early 80s cards, mostly from Topps, but here we have the 81 Topps traded Tim Raines rookie card. And then we also had an 85 Fleer of Kirby Puckett, also his rookie. This one is about 70-30 off center, so I'm sure that hurt the value, but back in its prime, this was still probably worth at least $20. You can get this card under $5 on eBay today. Now, I am a Nolan Ryan fan, and this came with some Nolan Ryan cards I did not have. My personal favorite was this 81 Topps Coke. And it included the complete set of Astros and the complete set of Phillies in here. So these were practically identical to 81 Topps, although I think the pictures might be different. Another oddball card, we have this one from Eminem. This one's dated 1987. And then these were pretty interesting. I thought there was probably a complete set of True Values, and they came in 3 card panels where you can only see the card on the front. This is dated 1986. We have Lou Whitaker on the front. To get to the middle, you had to actually kind of tear it open and open this flap. Someone had already done this. This was the only one that was already opened, but I'm glad they did, because there was a Nolan Ryan in there, and then a Dwayne Murphy, if you happen to be a Dwayne Murphy fan. So it looks like there was a contest to come on and play doubleheader. Next we have these discs from 1986 from Jay's. I believe this is a grocery store. Must have been in the Chicago-Milwaukee area. The one of Tom Seaver on the front unfortunately has a wrinkle in it. We've got Lee Smith from the Cubs, Rick Sutcliffe, Jim Gantner, Keith Moreland, Richard Dotson, Harold Baines. a Hall of Famer, Ron Kittle, Ted Higuera, and Ozzie Guillen. There was a box of 1988 Nestle Dream Team. It looks like there were 44 cards in the set. They put together an all-star team from each league, each division back then, but only 4 cards of the set made it. We've got Dave Winfield, Benny Santiago, George Bell, and Gary Gaetti. Here's a box of Topps Woolworth all-time record holders, and originally it came with a stick of gum and 44 cards. Some of the cards out of the set were missing, and there are a lot of old-time players on here. Let me show you the ones that did come in the box, and I don't think I had this Nolan either. Frank Howard, Roger Maris, Pete Rose, Frank Robinson, Raleigh Fingers, Sam Crawford, Ty Cobb, Jack Chesbro, Yogi Berra, Grover Alexander, Willie Wilson, Ted Williams, Owen Wilson, Christy Matheson, Lou Gehrig, Hack Wilson, Cliff Johnson, Jim Gentle, Frankie Frisch, Hub Leonard, Johnny Frederick, Cy Young, Rudy York, Stan Musial, Lloyd Wainer, Rogers Hornsby, Earl Webb, Maury Wills, Babe Ruth, George Sisler, Tris Speaker, Ed Walsh, Walter Johnson, and Dan Quisenberry. If you haven't had a chance to watch that other video yet, I will link down to it below. But here are all of the oddball packs that came in here, and we're going to get started with here. We're going to start with some Donrus Action All-Stars, which I suppose weren't popular because they are about 3x5 size on here, so of course they are overly large, and so they made this for a few different years. We're going to start with a pack of 1984 star stickers. Most of the things I'm about to open up I have never opened up before. And of course I'm having trouble with the puzzle. It came with a Ted Williams puzzle piece. That one is probably one of the toughest ones to complete because 84 Donruss was hard to come by, but here's what these cards look like. We've got Carney Lansford, and I do like the large picture that they have in the back. Paul Molitor, Dan Quisenberry, Jim Rice, and Steve Rogers. Of course, one of the problems with these is it's obvious who is on the front. So here we have a 1985 Action All-Stars. We've got Phil Niekro as a Yankee on the front of this one. This set came with a Lou Gehrig puzzle piece. And here is our cards, Phil Niekro, and taking a look on the back. This time they just decided to include all of the stats that were on there. We've got a Don Mattingly, probably one of the better cards out of the set. Dave Parker, Mike Marshall, and Eddie Murray. Next we have 86 Donruss. They still make it where you can see in here, but we've got 3 oversized cards and then 1 pop-up card and then a Hank Aaron puzzle in this one. Here is the Hank Aaron puzzle piece, and the piece that has the face is probably the best piece, although that one looks like it is actually in a corner. We have a pop-up of Ozzie Smith. I'll come back to that in a moment, but the 3 cards in here, we have Ron Darling, Gary Ward, and Ryan Sandberg. And when we look in the back, it looks like this time they only have the stats that were actually from the All-Star games with the stats in the back. But the pop-up piece here, as you can see, it is perforated around Ozzie Smith here, and There's some folds in here. This All-Star game was at the Astrodome, and I was always told you're not supposed to perforate these because then they're not mint anymore, but this card it probably sells for about a dime. So let me work on folding this. Okay, so we can get Ozzie Smith to come loose there. Oh, I just ruined it. Okay. So then it tells us to fold in the tabs on the bottom so that it can actually stand up. So there we go. Three-dimensional Ozzie Smith playing shortstop at the Astrodome. So we'll go ahead and stand that up in the background, and it immediately falls over. Next up, we've got, I think this one is 87. We still have the one pop-up, 3 cards, and a Roberto Clemente puzzle. And this year they have covered up who's on the inside. And we can't tell, but the design does have a Dwight Gooden pop-up piece on it. Here is our Clemente puzzle piece. And our pop-up is of Gary Carter, also at the Astrodome. But it is a different year. We've got Jim Presley, Jesse Barfield, and Jim Rice. Again, this year only shows the All-Star Game total highlights. Moving on, we have some 1983 Topps baseball stickers. And pulling that one open. Let's see, we've got Gary Maddox and Tom Underwood. This red is Ron Oster. There is a Cal Ripken. The twin is Ken Schramm. The White Sox is Greg Luzinski. And our Cub is Mel Hall. We've got another pack of these, and these were coming loose during shipping, so there were a lot of these just scattered in the box. Now we've got 2 players here. We're Manny Trillo, Mike Easler, Charlie Lay, Joe Price. See, I recognize Eddie Murray there. 83 World Series. This is Gary Renicky. Now for some very small, we have Wade Boggs, and the 2 small ones are Jim Rice and Dave Righetti. And our last one here, we've got Bob Baylor and John Denny. Moving on to 89 Fleer, of course, this has the potential of being one of the best things here if you could pull a Griffey rookie. However, when I got these packs, they look like they've been searched already. I would not feel right selling this to someone else or giving it to someone else either. So if we find a Griffey, hey, that's great. I doubt it. We've got an A sticker on the back, on the front, and then we've got Bob Lackey, Jim Corsi, and Tracy Woodson, Stanley Raines, Stillwell, Scott Service, Pena Darwin, Wally Joyner, Fred McGriff, Burns, Palmer, Wells, Drabeck, Gladden. Moving on to the second pack, it looked like it was sealed, but it took no effort to pull that apart. We have a Reds sticker, Filer, McFarland, Mookie Wilson, Upshaw, Williams, Paul, Lefferts, Oil Can Boyd, Ryan Sandberg, Surhoff, Cook, Gonzalez, Varsho, Noakes, Kruk. All right, this next one is certainly an oddball package. It was Leave It to Beaver trading cards. This is from 1985, and it was made by Pacific, and I see boxes of these selling on eBay for about $3 a pack. So let's go ahead and destroy the value on it. Let's take a kind of a closer look. Here there is where you can see that you can send get some plastic sheets out of this. My wife does have all the DVDs of the Leave It to Beaver. She's already told me that she wants these. So Beaver's Tree, Hobby Time, And we turn it around. We've got June and Wally. Ward, I'm very worried about Beaver. Beav, you sure got a lot of fun out of doing nothing. Beaver at bat. So we did get a baseball card out of here. Captain of the varsity football team. So it's multiple sports. A kid like Eddie Haskell only comes along about once every couple hundred years. Going swimming. And Beaver's new bike. Alright, so the next set we have here is Sportflics. And if you remember these, this was a set from the mid to late 80s where there were 3 different pictures that were on one card using the magic of lenticular photography. It would, depending on how you hold it, it would be 3 different pictures. They made these for about 3 or 4 years in the 80s, and then they came back in the 90s and made them a couple more years. They just really never really caught on. And so here is the package from 1986. We've got Series 1. There were 333 cards in the set. Each pack has 3 cards. Here's a look at the back. And there were also trivia cards that came in the pack. So let's go ahead and open this one. We've got, must have some kind of all-star here. We've got Bullpen Aces. So Dan Quisenberry, Goose Gossage, and Lee Smith. So 3 different stars there. Next card is of Fred Lynn. And Scott Geralt. And then Dr. K's disc offer. Him in there. One more pack of 86. Oh, I missed the trivia cards out of the first one. And then, because this one also had the trivia quiz. What current player threw the last perfect game in the majors? Seaver, Barker, Witt, or Nolan Ryan? And if this was made in '86, then it's probably Mike Witt. Witt of the Angels, who had a 1-0 perfect game against the Rangers on the last day of the '84 season. It was against my Rangers, so of course I know that. Looks like here we've got another All-Star card because I see Mike Schmidt on it. We've got home run champs, Mike Schmidt, George Foster, and Dave Kingman. Here we have Gary Templeton. And then that looks like George Bell. No, Jesse Barfield. And there is the simulated Magic Motion disc. Dr. K's disc offer. Now we've got 1987 Sportflics. I don't know why this dealer had them cost more, but I like how it lists the 50 top players that you can get in these packs. And let's see, official Major League team logo pins for $3.50. Void, oh, Connecticut etiquette. Okay. Turn that around. We've got, who is that Yankee there? We've got Dan Pasqua. We've got a Mets records and a Brewers records. This next card is Ron Darling. And here we have a Cardinal is Todd Worrell. One more 87 pack to open up. And we've got Dwight Evans on the back. Showing a full swing. Got an Astros and a Giants. And who is the Met here? It is Lenny Dykstra. And then who's that Red Sox? It is Tom Seaver. So a Hall of Famer finishes up that Sportsflics pack. All right, next up we have 1987 Fleer Star Stickers. 1 logo sticker and 5 photo stickers per pack. I like these as a kid because they were the same size as regular cards, and they were rigid, so you didn't even have to treat them like stickers. But we've got Expos. There is a Don Mattingly, Steve Bedrosian, Kirk McCaskill, George Bell, and Lance McCullers. Now, as a contrast, we have Topps 1988 Yearbook Stickers, so their version of stickers. And at this time, new, there is a superstar card on the back of each sticker. So that's something that Topps brought back in 2019. Thank goodness. I prefer the rigid cards instead of the little flimsy cards that they had for a while. This one does have a stick of gum in it. And that one is hard to open, but there is our stick of gum. I'll add it to my gum collection right there. And so we've got 2 things to look at here, the sticker side and the card side. And you either recognize the players or you don't. That might be Alan Trammell. Maybe Mike Scott on there. Jim Eisenreich, I don't know. Going to the superstar side, we've got Jack Clark, Neil Heaton, there's a George Brett, Willie Randolph, and Mark McGuire. So, not quite a rookie, but still a good card. This next one was one of the ones I thought was the most intriguing. ProCards AAA Future Stars. So, it looks like these people made a team set for every AAA team that they had, and then they also made packs that were pulled cards from the entire set. And when you look at it, almost 700 players in this set for all 26 teams. And let's see how many of these people we recognize. I remember having the Nashville Sound set of these back then. So Charlie Hayes, I think he went on to the Rockies for a while. Russ McGinnis, I recognize that name. The Oklahoma City 89ers, we have Jim St. Laurent and Scott May. From the Buffalo Bisons, we have Bob Patterson, Brian Gwynn, Dwight Smith, he had a pretty good career. Roger Mason, I think he became a Ranger eventually. Mike Walker and Kelvin Torvey. So these are rather simple looking on the back. Next up we have Topps Major League Leaders, the super glossy baseball cards. So a lot of people call these 86 Topps Mini. They also made these in 87 that had a blue background. There's a Win a Trip to Spring Training, Tim Raines, Oral Hershiser, Jimmy Key, Willie Wilson, Sid Fernandez, and Don Mattingly is probably might be the best card in here. Have that kind of that pinkish look to them. Next up we have Topps American Baseball, and these were colloquially called UK minis. So these were cards that were designed to be sold in Britain of American baseball players. And I think what they're trying to do was spread Major League Baseball knowledge to Britain. However, they did sell these in America. You could find them, which is how this person found them. I hear they also made some football cards that were not distributed in America, and so those have a lot more value. I did notice how, when you look in the back of here, they have a sticker that looks like something that you would find on British products that had the ingredients of the gum that came in here. So I just thought that caught my attention. So we do have a stick of gum. It would take a lot of money for me to put that in my mouth. That is kind of disgusting. So here we go. Dion James, Brooke Jacoby. There's a Dale Murphy, so one of the best Braves here. Roger Clemens, that's a pretty good player, and Jack Clark. So these aren't worth anything, but there were some good players out of that package. Got one more package of these. And here's some more white gum. We've got Oral Hershiser, Benny Santiago, Bob Boone, Eddie Murray, and Dave Winfield. So we end with a couple of Hall of Famers on the back. Dave opened a Manhattan restaurant in November 1986. So they packed a lot into these cards. Just 1 year of stats, but you've got a replica signature on it. There is, in the bottom left corner, there is explaining baseball basics to someone that's never seen it before. So that is, I do think that is interesting. And so these last two packs here is kind of one of the reasons I wanted to purchase this lot in the first place. We have 1985 Topps baseball photo rubdowns, and so each pack comes with 2 rubdown sheets and a stick of bubble gum. As you can tell, that the bubble gum in this first pack is all shot to pieces there. But this is going to be sort of like temporary tattoos. In fact, Topps did make baseball tattoos in the 60s and after they made this product. So it comes with 2 sheets, and each sheet will have 3 or 4 different players on it. So get that gum out of the way. Our first sheet here is going to have Mike Schmidt, Tim Raines, Ryan Sandberg, and Bill Buckner. And some assorted just baseball imagery, like a bat, glove, baseball. And what you would do is, like the picture on the front there, is you would take a quarter and you would put it on a piece of paper, rub the quarter over it, and then you would put that on your piece of paper. And then our next one is Hal McRae, Lance Parrish, Jack Clark, and Damaso Garcia. And there's also a 1-page here that explains how you go about putting these onto a piece of paper. So if you want to see the instructions there, you scribble all over the picture with a pencil, what they say. And then we've got one last pack of these. And this one, I was hoping the gum would be intact on that. So who wants some 1985 gum with that? So our first one is going to be Phil Garner, Gary Carter, and Ron Guidry. And then our last one is Rick Sutcliffe, Jack Morris, Jim Rice, and Jose Cruz. So after going through all those packs, of course there was nothing there of much value, which is, all these packs is what showed up in the original listing on eBay. And so if that's all you're getting, there was no one else willing to pay $11 for all of that. But it was all the stuff that we showed at the beginning. I just showed you the highlights. There were a lot of other loose and singles that came in the box. So like I said, if you want to see that first video, I'll link it down below. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Bye.